They care for some of society's most vulnerable people, giving them a basic skill in life that means so much. But new figures show that the role of speech and language therapists might be under threat. 80% of new graduates can't find a job due to cuts in the health service and local authorities. And there are fears that people who desperately need therapy will suffer lasting damage as a result. Damien O'Neill has tonight's Look North report.
The few jobs that are out there are often for more specialised people with more experience.
Helen's near the end of a 4-year course in Newcastle.
Pint of Carling and a pint of Guinness.
Her chances of finding a job are slim.
It's a vicious circle really, because I can't get experience and I need experience to get a job, but I can't get that experience from a job. So it's more frustrating than anything, because I so desperately want to be able to go out and work, but there's nowhere for me to go.
Helen's friend Matt graduated 2 years ago and he still hasn't managed to find any work in his chosen career.
A constant hunt for jobs really. I've mostly been falling back on previous experience of care work and a bit of photography as well. For my university alone there was about 50 graduates all looking for a handful of jobs.
Well done. How many is that? 2. Try again.
Cuts to the NHS and local government mean fewer posts in speech and language therapy. But in North Tyneside, a charity providing therapy to children says if they don't get help now, it'll affect them for the rest of their lives and cost the NHS more.
It'll have a huge impact on the whole of their lives if they can't have that time where they can learn how they want to say things and learn how they can ask for things and make sure that they can actually integrate into the community. Then it's a long-term impact, and they'll need more help in the future to be able to actually function and actually ask for things and make sure they're getting what they need.
Therapists are holding demonstrations around the region. They say 700,000 people with dementia have language and communication needs, and that a stroke victim's future prospects depend on being able to get therapy early in their recovery. They also say that 2 or 3 children in every classroom may be in need of speech therapy. In the long term, it's easy to see where this situation could be heading. How many people are going to be willing to train for 4 years when there's almost no chance of a job at the end of it? And then in the future, if more posts do become available, we might find that there are very few people around to actually take them up.
It's scary when you're in the position I'm in, thinking that in 7 months I'm going to be competing with those people who haven't got jobs from last year. You want to be able to go, have a couple of interviews, find a job you love. And I know it's the same for everyone at the moment, it's just not possible, but we've narrowed ourselves down so much to what we can do, and there's just not the jobs out there.
This is Damien O'Neill for BBC Look North in North Tyneside.
Well, actually, in the sports news tonight, there's a little bit of a theme linking therapy, isn't there?
There is, Carol. It's an amazing story of courage and friendship, which we hope is going to have a happy ending as well. Yes, former Middlesbrough footballer Gary Parkinson is taking on a scouting role for his old club, despite suffering from the paralysing condition called locked-in syndrome. Well, Gary suffered a massive stroke last year, which left him only able to communicate with his eyes. But incredibly, it hasn't stopped him talent spotting for his old teammate, Borough boss Tony Mowbray. Don Thewlis reports.
Gary Parkinson was part of the famous Middlesbrough team of '86, made up almost entirely of Teessiders and captained by Tony Mowbray. They battled bankruptcy to win 2 successive promotions, but now he's battling locked-in syndrome after a huge stroke 14 months ago left him fighting for his life. Although few recover from the condition, some do, and now Borough's coaches and former teammates are hoping this new role, which involves showing Gary DVDs of potential signings, will help him improve.
He's still only communicating with his eyes, so I think he's devised a system with himself and Debbie. The amount of blinks for a positive and certain amount of blinks for a don't touch with a barge pole. So I think it's really great. I think it gives Gary a real input to the football club. And I think Tony's been fantastic in that respect. I think if we can keep Gary's mind occupied. And in a real positive way, and just keep him part of the football club. You know, there is a few of us now who are kind of here from that post-86 period. So let's keep him involved in any way, shape or form, and hopefully it'll just aid in his recovery.
But Gary's long and successful playing career and his time as a youth coach at Blackpool means he can still put his knowledge and experience to good use for Middlesbrough's benefit as well.
Tony really values Gary's opinion, and I think hopefully, you know, if we look to the future, you know, we all hope that Gary can keep improving, keep on that road to recovery, and hopefully one day we'll actually do some full-time scouting for us.
Dawn Thewlis,